This is Charles Kao with Travel Mall TV in Hanoi with Mr. Kai Speth, who's the general manager of the Sofitel Legend Metropole Hotel, one of the global iconic properties. It's an amazing property. What are you most proud about it? I mean, there must be many, but if you had to pick a few things.
Well, one of the accomplishments over the last couple of years certainly for me has been to restore the glory of the hotel. The hotel has been here for 111 years and has gone through lots of ups and downs. It features a very rich history. And the hotel was pretty run down after the war. And when Sofitel came in and Accor in the early 90s to restore the building, there were a lot of plans. And of course, over the decades, you take, okay, what else can we do to bring it back to the old Grand Dame, the old Grand Hotel that we wanted to be. So one of my biggest accomplishments has been, of course, the launch of Sofitel Legend. We decided in 2006, 2007 to reposition the hotel. I joined in 2008, we finished renovations, and then of course worked also on the services that were available in the hotel. And to really put it on the map and to really position it as one of the core hotels in all of Southeast Asia. And we launched Sofitel Legend. So this is definitely one of the milestones of my career, to successfully do that in the middle of a big financial crisis. And the rewards are coming in now. The hotel has now been widely recognized as one of the premier hotels in this region, and I'm very proud of that.
And you were the flagship, the first Sofitel Legend, as Sofitel tries to, decided to upgrade, if you will, Sofitels, and then have this Legend. The Legend includes a Metropole here. Which other? There's two others, is it?
Very good, Charles. Correct. Let me please try to explain that. Sofitel is one of the brands within a large Accor company of hotels, where you have Novotel and Pullman and Mercure and these other brands. Sofitel was repositioned, or we started the repositioning process in 2007. We had over 200 hotels worldwide, and we reduced the network to really ensure quality. But then we have about a handful of hotels that are like the Metropole, rich in history, traditional building, that have played a significant role in maybe the life of the people there or in the city. And the Metropole for the longest time has been the flagship of Sofitel in Asia Pacific. So with the rebranding and the repositioning, this hotel didn't really fit into the vision of the new Sofitel luxury hotel. So at the same time, we wanted to position it above what the regular Sofitel luxury hotel represents. So we went ahead and decided, let's say, okay, these hotels have such a rich character and history. We need to do something separate. And that's how the Legend idea was born. And right now, we launched in 2009 the Sofitel Legend Metropole Hanoi as the first Sofitel Legend worldwide. And recently we have the Grand Hotel, the Grand in Amsterdam, join us as the second Sofitel Legend. Just a few months ago, it has been the Old Cataract in Aswan, Egypt, as the third Sofitel Legend, and the fourth one will be joining us at the end of this year with the Santa Clara property in Cartagena, Colombia. So then we'll be four. And there are plans to, of course, enlarge that network. It needs to be a historical building. It needs to be a hotel with a rich history. So that's why we don't think this brand is going to explode, because we want to be true to that concept of ours that the hotel has to have a history. So we're not going to do what some other brands are doing, starting with a historical hotel and then branching it out with new hotels. The hotels, the Sofitel Legend, will always have a very rich history. So maybe there's going to be 6, there's going to be 10, and maybe 15 at some point. But the idea and the brand and that collection of hotels that was born here in Hanoi.
The Metropole was built, I think, early 1900s, like 1901.
Correct.
Obviously, immense amount of history. Has it always been Vietnamese owned?
Well, when it first opened, of course, there were two French entrepreneurs that opened the hotel. But then very quickly in the 1920s it went into Vietnamese hands. Yes, the Vietnamese have always owned this hotel. There have been other owners involved with it. Even currently it's a joint venture between Vietnamese and some foreign investors. But it has always been for quite a long time within the same hands. So it's not that ownership changes every 2 or 3 years and different directions come in. Right now the Vietnamese government is still involved in this hotel with one of its arms called Hanoi'S. They've been with this hotel ever since it reopened in '92, and they helped me a lot in realizing my vision, our vision as a company, to position this hotel and also take care of the social responsibility we have with this property, because it's widely regarded as one of the true landmarks in Hanoi.
I imagine, as you mentioned, we're having dinner at your French restaurant. You get some special privileges, such as shipments direct from France of some of the foods and other things. The people in Hanoi, the people in Vietnam, how do they relate to the Metropole?
Well, Charles, I've worked all over the world. I've worked in all the big capitals, and in most of the cities you find 2 or 3 or 4 hotels that really make an impact, and people talk about them. Some like that hotel or that hotel. And this hotel is so unique because I truly believe, and I know it because I've been here for over 4 years now, that there is no other hotel that has played such a significant role in the life of a city and for the people than the Metropole has in Vietnam and in Hanoi. So for the Hanoians, it epitomizes the ultimate luxury, what hospitality is all about. And when they talk about the best of the best, and when they talk about hospitality industry and luxury, they will tell you it's the Metropole. And I've never worked in any other city or in any other country where it has been so clearly defined. So we're very fortunate in this regard that we have this strong position, but we also have the responsibility to carry that on and not to disappoint the people of Hanoi.
How would you describe to somebody who's wondering what would be the experience they would have staying at the Metropole from the standpoint of guest mix, from the standpoint of food that's available within the Metropole, entertainment, etc. You have come from a background that included Fairmont's, Regent Hong Kong, some very top 5-star properties around the world, in the U.S. and elsewhere. How is this property different as a 5-star property than some of the others in terms of experiences?
Well, obviously the history and the position in the country, what I've just explained to you, as far as the Vietnamese are looking at the Metropole as the one and only hotel in really Vietnam, which is Hanoi, helps us. But with that comes that realization and that importance of being connected to the local community. So when you come to the Metropole, you're not just visiting some tourist hotel that's totally removed from the rest of the world and rest of the life of the city, like you find in so many hotels, where you're coming in and it's reserved for the wealthy traveler, the wealthy business person, and you don't really feel a connection to the city or the people. That is very different here. And my emphasis has been to be humble and to allow everyone and anyone to enjoy this hotel. Whether you come here for a simple espresso in the afternoon, whether you want to have a glass of water at the bar, or whether you come for a 5-star meal, a 3-star meal in one of our restaurants. So that is really what makes this hotel special. You are connected to the life of the city. You will see the business person, you will see the foreign business person, you will see the locals, you will see local ladies, you will see young people, you will see middle-aged people, you will see foreign travelers, you will see the diplomatic corps. Everyone is coming to this hotel. So if you want to really get an impression about the city and Vietnam, you can actually experience that in this hotel. You don't have to venture outside because everyone comes here because they feel comfortable with what we provide in terms of services. And to me, that's luxury. That is what it is. It's humbleness. It is providing. We are there for our customers, no matter where they come from.
And you can come here without having to expect to have to wear black tie for dinner.
That's correct, yes, absolutely. Again, we're also in a very hot climate, of course, so that plays into that. But we're not trying to impose ourselves on our guests. Of course, we want to make sure, when we come to our restaurants that we don't allow people in there with a bathing suit. But yes, we don't follow strict dress codes. We allow people to be themselves.
To be comfortable.
To be comfortable, to enjoy themselves. And I believe that's what nowadays hospitality is all about.
Kai Speth, General Manager of the Sofitel Legend Metropole Hanoi. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Charles. Thank you.